normal shit and kind of like walk through the air before I get there. And so I hop into her car and she goes, "What are you wearing?" Ganja? Well, who makes that? Snoop Dogg? Yeah, so I started thinking about kind of like how I think things through, you know. There's a very different science of how a stoner mind works versus a non-stoner mind, and I'm here to enlighten the non-stoners about how that process actually works. So for example, those of you that are non-stoners that are comics usually, sit down and you have your papers and you think, I'm going to write some comedy and I'm going to be real organized about it, it's going to be awesome. And so you sit down and you take your time and you write your jokes. Well, in a stoner mind, I sit down to write my jokes and then I look up and I spend 15 minutes watching Harold and Kumar's adventure. So then, non-stoners will go, okay, well, I got one joke and now I'm going to create more jokes. My stoner mind sits down and I think, all right, I'm going to write a second, Harold and Kumar, what adventure the White House. So, and it's also a different process when we get pulled over by the police, right? So non-stoners, those of you that don't smoke, you just have your regular protocol. You get pulled over and you're like, all right, I gotta get my registration here, and I got my ID, and I'll put my hand on the wheel, because the officer don't like it when I move, it's totally gonna be fine. And you wait for the officer to come, and you have your conversation. Was I speeding? Oh, I didn't know. Then that's that conversation, right? But if you're a stoner, first of all, your heart starts pumping real fast, right? Like, oh, fucking police, pull me over. And you have a thought process, and your first thought is, all right, does my car smell like dope? And you don't know if your car smells like dope because you smoke dope all the time, and you just don't know the difference between what smells like dope and what doesn't. So you start rolling down your windows real fast, and you're like, all right, I got air. You put on the AC, you recycle to make fresh air come to your car to de-dope your car. So the second process is, where's my dope? So you start looking around, maybe it's in the glove box, maybe it's somewhere, and maybe you gotta put it somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? Make sure the police don't find it. So then you start looking around, and then you're like, oh, my car's all dirty. I gotta put stuff in my bag. Where's the trash? Why the hell am I pulled over to the side of the road? And that's the thought process of a stoner. And that's why I just got out of jail this morning. So the other thing that's really funny about stoners is, heavy stoners, or my friends, they tend to forget that smoking maybe one bowl or two or three or four is enough to get other non-heavy smokers high, but not us. So when we get a foreign friend that comes over to the house for the first time, and you're like, all right, we're going to smoke some bowls, and pack them and give them to the friend, and they smoke one bowl and they pass it to you, and you're like, all right, it's going to be like a night of just smoking bowls back and forth, and then all of a sudden your new friend is high as fuck, and you're like, why are you so fucking high? I don't understand, I've only had one bowl, why are you so fucked up? And so the non-actual smokers that are occasional smokers tend to have that reaction to you, and it freaks us stoners out. And then the last thing is, I noticed that when you're hanging around non-stoners, when you're sitting around a room, something crashes in the other side of the room, crash, and you're like, oh, maybe the vase fell over, maybe something, whatever, insignificant broke. But when you're hanging around stoners and you hear about crashing in the room, the first thought is, oh shit, the bong broke. Somebody check to see what that noise was, quick! Bongs are expensive, I'm telling you. So I'm from a small town, Imperial Valley, anybody know what that is? Yeah, nobody, I didn't think so. So my town's so small that the band geeks are also the football players. Seriously, my town's so small that I was a band geek and a football player. Until they realized I wasn't a lesbian and was just there to fuck half the football team. No, I'm just kidding, I fucked all of them. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Fuck the band geeks? Yeah, I fucked them too. I mean, that's why you have to leave little small towns like that, because there's nothing else to do, right? I have to go to college, I have to find new people to fuck. Start running out of people. So, I learned the other day from one of my students, I teach and coach at Cal State Long Beach. So I learned from I also coach speech and debate, and one of my speech kids decided to tell me on a road trip about this journal that she read about prostitution. And in the journal she read that the difference between using a condom and not using a condom is like 50 cents. And I thought, that's weird. How awkward would that conversation be? Ma'am, you owe me 50 cents change. Where do you keep your change? Actually, never mind. I don't want my change. So we're fine. So anyways, my name's Reyna Queen.